Yes, my viewers and subscribers. This is a review I'm trying to do on a Memphis hospital security guard was caught having sexual intercourse with a dead woman in 2018. If it's the first time on my channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. A hospital security guard has been arrested after he was caught having sex with a woman, corpse police say. Cameron Wright, 23, is accused of violating the body of 37-year-old April Parham at S3x Hospital in Memphis on Wednesday. Miss Parham had died suddenly just hours earlier, and her body was being prepared for organ donation when Wright alleged carried out his hack. So the woman was dead, and he went inside the morgue and he carried out his hack. Two other security guard, walked into the body storage room on Wednesday night and saw him having sex with the corpse. Police recorded shows. Wright was arrested and charged with abuse of corpse and had also been fired by his employer. Police say he had admitted to the crime. He is due to make his first appearance via video link on Friday. It is not clear how Miss Parham died, but posts on her family's social media page revealed the death was sudden and completely unexpected. Now, as well as dealing with the sudden loss of a loved one, Parham's family are also trying to cope with this news. Father James Parham told WMCA5, "After you pass, we think finally she's not suffering. She's not hurting no more. And to find out this, it's devastating. It hurt." Speaking to Fox 13, he added, "What we need is some answer. We need some concrete answers and somebody held accountable. This is not what we need right now. It's hard enough." St. Francis Hospital, Memphis said Wright had undergone a background check and was contacted through the U.S. Security Associate. A statement from the hospital said, "Treating those we serve with high dignity and respect is our top priority. The behavior of this individual does not represent what our hospital stands for, and these actions are completely unacceptable. We are saddened by this incident, and we are empathetic and sympathetic to the family of the patient." I'm going back through this because I'm trying to understand the minds of some of our men. I'm not a doctor in that field or whatever. I'm just a normal human person like any one of you are. But I'm trying to understand what in a man that caused a man to rape because he has raped the dead. What caused a man to have his genital erosion to such extent that he will sleep with the dead? These are some of the questions that we would have put out there, and we are looking for answers. And the natural mind doesn't seem to can comprehend what goes on. And those who are in such a situation, who are doing all these things, it brings me back to how men kidnap young girls, boys alike, and rape them, even when they are fighting them off. Now, this is a dead woman. She can't fight off anyone. And this is a young man in his prime, has a good job as a security officer. Work, and he left all the way and he gone to the morgue in the hospital to associate himself with a dead woman. How can families understand such like these? It brings me now to think of in our today's society when young men are going on steroid and drugs and you name all sort of element that they put in their body, and their minds are doing these things. Mothers, how can we cope with such situation? Fathers, how do we deal with all these? The good fathers, the ones who will never succumb themselves to such atrocities. Mothers, how would you look at your son in the light of when you hear this story that he would go into the morgue and sleep with the dead? How can a man sleep with a dead, sleep in another man's bottom? And all these things have been over her mind. It's not just the man's butt, but also the woman's butt. How do we deal with this thing in a society like this? We blame others. We accuse others. How do we cope with this? When analysts sit down and they analyze this, when therapists sit down and they think on these things, psychiatrists and all these, how do they analyze or bring into numerologies all these things so we can understand them? How do we place them on the table and try to digest this, try to understand what goes on in a young man's mind? The fact that she's dead, lying in the morgue, ready to have her organs being donated at the request of the family, I suppose, and to know that Cameron Wright, a 23-year-old young man, having sex with the body of a 37-year-old young lady, a dead body. My viewers and subscribers, maybe this not be your topic of conversation now that the coronavirus is out. But we have to look back sometimes and then to try to figure out how these things comes to be. When we in a society think that we are going forward and not realizing that we are sometimes reversing, sometimes standing still, and at times it seems as if nothing seems to be moving on in what we call modern age technology and modern age society, and a young man is caught sleeping with a corpse of a dead woman. It's happening around us. It's happening around us as we can realize young boys were raped, and if autopsy report would have gotten out and speak it just like it is, they were raped when they are dead. Women were raped when they are dead. This is the gruesome act that goes on. And the minds of man is in a devastated place, and they need to get themselves in order. You're going to be macho on the outside. Going to be macho walking around the homes, on the street. But in your mind, there is another thing going on inside. An old woman passed you by and your genital began to rise. A baby passed you by and you would watch that baby and your genital began to rise. How cruelsome can your mind be? It's full time for us to eradicate the things that are going on in our mind and set at peace with ourselves. And I think this time of coronavirus should be a time for many of us to reflect on the things that we do and ask ourselves, when this passes by, how will our behavior be? Can we be represented? Are we coming out of this hole and not just in part? Are we still set on destructiveness? Are we going down into history as the pedophiles, the rapists, the person that just decided to kill everybody? How will you end your life, and what will it be like? Is this how we are trying to live? A young man, 37, a young man, 23, raping a 37-year-old dad. My viewers and subscribers, lend me your views on this. It's not your topic of conversation. I'm not your best channel. But once again, stay safe. Walk in peace, my friend. Shalom.